Hi, and welcome back to Chris at the Movies. Well, we have some great news with the announcement that Sony Pictures Home Entertainment will celebrate the 60th anniversary of J. Lee Thompson's classic 1961 war film, The Guns of Navarone. With a brand new 4K Blu-ray release, which will be available on October the 12th, it's coming with some nice features including Dolby Atmos and HDR10. This is really welcome news for fans of the movie, as the DVD version and subsequent Blu-ray were not great. So hopefully, this is going to get the full restoration it needs and deserves. So I thought I'd take a behind-the-scenes look at the movie. The film starred David Niven, Gregory Peck, Anthony Quinn, Anthony Quayle, Stanley Baker, and other stars. With a budget of $6 million at the time, this was one of the most expensive movies ever made. The film grossed $28.9 million at the box office, generating theatrical rentals of $13 million in the United States and Canada, and was the second top-grossing film of 1961. It earned worldwide rentals of $25 million. The film was part of a cycle of big-budget World War II adventures that included The Bridge on the River Kwai, The Longest Day, and The Great Escape. Alistair MacLean's novel had been a bestseller and was read by Mike Frankovich, head of Columbia Pictures, who became excited as to its cinematic possibilities. He showed it to Carl Foreman, who had written Bridge on the River Kwai, and had a producing deal with Columbia, who was first as not as enthusiastic, in part because he knew how difficult making a movie version would be. Foreman eventually changed his mind and agreed to make the movie. The role played by David Niven was originally intended for Kenneth More. Foreman had written the part for More, but the head of rank, John Davies, refused to lend More out for the film. Also, Jack Hawkins was intended for a role in the movie, but was undergoing cobalt treatment for throat cancer. The Greek island of Rhodes provided locations. The unit was based on there from April to July 1960. Anthony Quinn was so taken with the area that he bought land there, which is still called Anthony Quinn Bay. Some further scenes were shot on the islands of Gozo, near Malta, and Tino. In 1968, author Alistair MacLean reunited Mallory, Miller and Stavros in the best-selling novel Force 10 from Navarone, the only sequel of his long writing career. That was in turn filmed in 1978 by British director Guy Hamilton, a veteran of several James Bond films. The cast included Robert Shaw, Harrison Ford, Edward Fox and Barbara Bach. Though the sequel was a modest success, it did not match the original critically or commercially. A complication arose when it was found that Gregory Peck, whose character was supposed to be fluent in German, could not speak the language convincingly. Voice actor Robert Rietti dubbed all of Peck's German dialogue for the film. Several members of the Greek royal family visited the set the day they filmed the cafe scene, and appeared in the background as extras. This was the only time that David Niven ever smoked cigarettes on screen. Niven was a lifelong non-smoker. During shooting, Gregory Peck and David Niven became close friends, bonding initially over Peck's ability to consume vast quantities of brandy, which the actors used to stay warm while filming in a cold studio tank, without messing up a line. Their families visited each other frequently in later years and Peck would deliver the eulogy at Niven's funeral. David Niven initially felt that he was badly miscast in the offbeat role of a corporal, but later said he considered it to be one of his best performances, despite being too old for the part. William Holden was the first actor sought to play Mallory. He asked for $750,000 plus 10% of the gross. He was turned down and Gregory Peck was cast. Holden felt the role was too similar to the character he had played in The Bridge on the River Kwai. There was reportedly much tension between many of the stars, particularly Gregory Peck and Anthony Quinn, early in the film's production, but the cast gradually bonded over endless games of chess. Many viewers incorrectly assumed Gregory Peck's character was supposed to be an American, as he declined to attempt an English accent in order to play the part. The initial $2 million budget rose quickly thanks to rigours of location shooting, including filming in areas that were only accessible by donkey, and the need to hire 1,000 Greek soldiers to play the German army. For the scene where the commandos scale the nearly vertical cliff, the rock face was a painted backdrop laid out on the ground, so the actors were actually climbing across the studio floor, and then the image was tilted. Bob Cuff was responsible for a number of matte paintings shown in the movie. A matte painting is a painted representation of a landscape set or distant location that allows filmmakers to create the illusion of an environment that is not present at the filming location. It was done before the days of CGI and computer graphics. The last sequence shot was the actual setting of the bombs. With 3 days left to shoot, David Niven was felled by septicemia from a split lip sustained shooting in the studio tank. As doctors tried to identify the infection so they could treat it effectively, the production ground to a halt for a month. Finally, Niven defied his doctor's orders and returned to the set to finish this movie, before he had fully recovered. The relapse that resulted put him in the hospital for 7 weeks. If you look closely at the end of the movie, when David Niven and Gregory Peck are standing on the deck of the warship, you can see the injury to his upper lip. Well guys, I can't wait for this to come out on 4K Blu-ray and hear it in Dolby Atmos. If you like this type of content, why not consider subscribing and hit the like button as it helps to promote the channel. I will leave you with some extra behind the scenes photos from the film. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy your movies. Bye.